Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and I'm joined with hubby.
Hubcap.
And sorry, we missed you last week.
But we're back.
We're back. We're back. And I got hot cocoa, special hot cocoa, the right kind. Alrighty, so let's say hi real quick to Spence, Burl, Kathy, Don, Sheila, Mortz, Greg, Sharon. Didn't miss anybody. Andrea.
Don Abbott.
Got, I guess.
You
Yes.
got that one? Did you get Burrow?
Burl?
Yeah.
Did I get Burl? I'm sorry, Burl. I got her now.
If
Alrighty.
I missed anybody, yell at me, for I am Hubcap, and it is my job.
It is your job. Alrighty. So this picture is altered from a picture on Pixabay, and honestly, it's not a real snowflake. What it is a, you can tell more than likely because just based on the shapes that it is a plastic Christmas tree ornament. But it gives us great practice on doing the balance and contrast, lights and darks. If you're doing icicles, the same concept will also work. If you're doing chrome, the same concept works. And because I'm still stuck on dark backgrounds, this will have a dark background in order to really pop out the snowflakes. I have changed, I've altered these two flakes because we all know no two flakes are the same. So they're just slightly altered. And if you see on my pattern, I do not have all the lines because it's a repetitive over and over again. So I was thinking we would focus on one arm and get that in, and maybe talk about perspective, because when snowflakes fall, they fall in all different directions. So we will get started with that. I am heating up, what am I heating up? The 18S, because I'm going to negative burn. Let's pick an area. We're just going to go right there. Hopefully it's all good to see. Here we go. I am hot. I can't believe you're not. Alaska boy.
Hey. Hey.
Alaska boy.
Hey. I say when it's cold, and it is cold. It's not my fault that you spend
cold.
You spend the majority of your time outside.
All right,
like some wild animal.
All right, so we are going to start, I think, with this one right here. And with anything that reflects or light shines through, we're going to have a dark area that backs up to a light area and a dark area. So it might, on some areas, feel like you're outlining, but as long as we blend it out, it'll be fine. Not everything is a high highlight. We've got some areas that are brighter than others, and we need to pay attention to those because that's where the light is being reflected in a different direction and making it brighter. Let's see here. What else are we looking for? We've got a lot of straight lines in this. When I was looking at snowflakes, there were a lot of straight lines as well. And yeah, we just need to pay attention to where all our brights are, where our high highlights are, and where our darks are. We do have some medium tone in here, and I have, let me see here, let me pop up the sepia snowflake, that way it was up, there we go, that way we can see how it will look on the wood, and we still have our high highlights, we don't lose those, and we're going to just start it. I think I'm going to hold my, I have a reference photo up to my right, because sometimes it's easier to have it closer. So I'll just do this. This is a 5x7 basswood. I have it linked down in the description. And what I'm going to do for this dark background is I'm going to start off on 3, and it's going to be dark because the wood hasn't been burned at all. And I am going to then darken it as we go. That'll be later. So I'm just going up against it. And one thing I forgot is we can take our white charcoal pencil and lay out where our lights are so that we don't lose them. You know, I haven't had my burner on in 2 weeks. So I got to get my muscle memory back. Luckily it doesn't take too long. So I'm just going in ovals, and later on the big pin will come out with higher heat, but we're not going to focus on that. So what I'm doing is I'm just burning along the edge of the arm. And then we will go in. I'll go ahead and put the pen down. I can also use this pen on the larger dark areas within the snowflake. And I'm moving pretty quickly.
Sorry. Chat wasn't moving for me, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is everybody quiet? And you know how I have to refresh chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, close it out and open it up again. So, yep.
Were they not quiet?
No, they were not quiet.
They were not quiet.
Barrel's gonna yell at me. I know what.
Oh no. Why, were you on something?
No, because I wasn't catching your messages.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
They're saying that Don Abbott says that the snowflakes look pretty interesting.
Well, I wanted to do something wintry. Because of how I am. And well, okay, this is the General's white charcoal pencil. It's the only thing safe to burn next to that I know of. Any other white is not.
And Angela is here.
Hey, Angela.
And it's for the first time watching you live.
Welcome. Alright. So I'm just marking so I can see later. And how I've marked out some of these lines is I only did like one side of it. That way I didn't have as much graphite on the board. And I am thinking after this is burned, we're going to have a live where I put shiny stuff on it. And kind of, we're going to use, why can I never think of the word? They're right behind you. The small pots. Oh no, they're behind the bear. Or to the left of the bear.
What?
I can't think of the shiny stuff.
Where's the bear? Shiny stuff.
Yeah. Shoot fire. What?
Talking about like the foil?
Not foil, but you're close. You're close. Not the foil. It's in the little pots.
Little pots.
Mm-hmm. Little jars. Tiny little jars.
I feel like I'm losing it.
Hopefully somebody will tell us what I'm thinking.
Wait, no,
it's over there. In between the white bucket and the burnings.
White bucket.
Alright. As he tries to figure out.
There's two white buckets here. Wait, there's the bear. You said it was near the bear.
We're gonna go on a scavenger hunt in the studio.
White pots.
Small pots.
What are you talking about? There's no pots here. They're all plastic.
I've lowered down to 2. And I'm just going to go into our darkest area because reflections will always have a dark area that's going to be equal to the background. But we need to give ourselves room to darken. The minute I stop, I'll go, yes, that's what I was talking about.
I have no pots.
Small jars.
Jars. I don't have any jars either.
So right up against the white. That's what we need. Because it'll make the white pop out. And that's what I was talking about. It might feel like we're outlining a little bit. And on some level we are. And in a second I'm going to stop and grab what I was thinking.
What do these things do?
They're glittery. They're powdery. My brain still is...
I think I know what you're getting at.
It's just going to drive me nuts if I don't do this. Sorry. I apologize.
I really
very quickly.
Honestly don't know.
Pearlex!
Oh, pearlescent powders?
Yes! These! That's what we're going to be using.
Well, that was the most difficult conversation I've had all week. Sorry. Hey, I'm the hubcap. I'm not. Great things are not expected of me. Okay. I go on the wheel and I go round and around.
And look pretty.
And I'm shiny. That's it.
You look pretty. So yes, I'm gonna make it shiny in some areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump up to 2.5 because right here. We've got a nice dark right here and a dark right here. And then we have a lighter mid tone here. I'm going to act like that's a bright until later so I don't lose the line, and I can get rid of the graphite. So at 2.5 with just the end of the pin, I'm going to do some ovals and try to keep it even, because that is one thing about this, is we don't want a lot of gradient in our darks. And this is going to show how necessary our darks really are.
Rude barrel, but probably accurate.
What?
I don't want to say.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I know who I am.
Yes, he is my boy toy.
Spence wants to know. Well, okay.
Hey, Spence.
Actually, Don says, so the white stays and will not be rubbed off at the end?
It will be rubbed off on the end. This is just a place marker. As soon as I go to erase, it will come off, which is totally fine. So that way I can go back later with a bright white. Like the small jar next to the pencil sharpener. Yes,
I got it. I did it.
You did it.
Yay.
Yay. I'm going to use some of this bleed-proof white, which is basically a thick wash. That's water-based. I used it on the Bear and Water a couple of months ago. It does great highlights, so I'm going to use that. You can put it directly on the wood, or you can use it after you put some varnish on. But then you'll need to re-varnish over it to ensure it stays. Alright, so I'm just going around my lights. And there's going to be some different darks within this. And right now, it's going to look harsh. It's going to look ugly and harsh and off. And we have to take a deep breath, because it won't stay that way. And I think that's the hardest thing to remember. And at some point, we all have to remember it. It's not going to stay this way. It will get pretty, but you have to be kind to yourself, and don't be harsh. And so I'm just following this line right here. I'm getting that in so that I can negative burn on the other side, and hopefully we can see a little bit more. So this goes the same for chrome. Chrome is reflection, icicles, on some level mirrors, depending on how you know what you're looking at mirror wise. What else? Raindrops are the same exact concept. Let's see, I gotta move down. Follow this line. So even though this is a snowflake and a plastic one at that, we can still work on getting realism for other subjects. And I was trying to find something that can cross over to a lot of other things in technique. Because once you get one technique down and you feel comfortable with it, it's a lot easier to expand to another area, because you've already accomplished, say, an icicle or a raindrop. So you know, if you can do a raindrop, you can do this, and if you can do this, you can do that.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That's right. That's right. That is a very true statement. So what I'm doing is I'm flipping the board. I went up to 3 again, and I am going to cut in up against my graphite line. Make sure I'm on camera. Maybe I should up it a little bit since I moved. There we go. And then we're going to cut up against this line, but I'm making sure that more of the tip is touching down so that we can get a wide burn to keep that outline from happening.
Moritz, I just sent you a PSN message.
Well, isn't he special?
Well, just stuff.
I don't get a PSN
can't
message.
Talk about on the stream. I'll send you one.
I can't get into it.
Sure. Oh, no, you can't.
I don't know my password.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, so just up against it.
Well, I can still send you one. You just won't get it. I can tell you the gist of it.
but I'll know. Alright. It's gonna be rough. Just hang in there. And this is just our base burn for the dark background, because when we go back at a higher heat, it will make it more, so there's more depth, especially since this is basswood. Basswood takes heat differently than birch does. And I do have some of the birch Christmas ornaments that I bought last year through Connell. I did sand those, and we're going to do a couple of those as well. I guess that's a lot more detail, and I need to sit and make the pattern for that. So just cut in. I went harsh there, but totally okay. It actually gives us a better visualization. So I'm not going to stress. And now we can start seeing.
So, sorry we weren't on last week, but Val was really, really not feeling good, and I said, Valarie, no, you cannot go on. And anyway, and then.
But I said I got to. I must.
She said, yeah, and then I said, no, there's no way. There's no way. Anyway, so.
No, it was more of a, ow, okay, I can't do it this week. You didn't have to argue with me on that one. No. Hey, Steven.
And I don't ever tell you what to do, because I know what would happen to me.
Laughing?
Hmm?
Laughing?
Yes. Hey.
Alright, see, as I darken it.
Stephen Bunch is here.
Yep, I just said it.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I'm sorry.
It's going to go even darker than that. I just wanted to show you.
The hubcap is only capable of so much multitasking.
Yeah, I know. And in some areas where my graphite line is, that's where the light is going to be. So I'm not erasing it just quite yet, hopefully. Let me find a place where...
Yes, Beryl. As you surmise, it is all my fault.
No, me sitting there and playing Skyrim for 5 days is your fault.
I wasn't gonna dime you out on that. What do you mean it was my fault?
You made me stay in bed.
Yes, I did. And that happens to be one of your bedtime activities when you're not feeling good.
Alright. So this is just going to be a back and forth, and even so, as dark as our background is here, our darkest darks within the snowflake are also going to have to be. And so just darken this, and then we'll pop over to perspective.
Kathy Bryan says, I'm so excited about this. Christmas is my all-time favorite holiday. So glad Val is feeling better.
Thank you.
You know, this whole, starting at Halloween is our jam. Yeah. We decorate the yard. I might even decorate the yard, directly after Thanksgiving.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. But,
did I
procrastinated. It's supposed to be.
I guess I said that. So there's a dark line. Where there's a light, there's going to be a dark up against it. It's definitely one thing to remember. There'll be a dark right up against it. There we go. And this is going to be a back and forth. I know it doesn't look all that great right now.
I think it actually, objectively, because I'm not tuned into it like you are, it's already looking like it has that glassy quality. So.
And that's what we want. Yep, this will be the same actually concept with a glass of water or a glass of liquid, because that is all based on reflection, especially if it's something clear.
True that.
So let's see if I can erase anything yet.
Yep, pretty soon we're going to have all the house decorated, and it will smell like cinnamon and pine inside.
Yep.
And dog hair. Ooh. Oh, instead of Christmas flocking, we can get Zena's hair and just put it on the tray.
We can.
Ooh.
Yes, we
How
can.
Christmassy will that be?
Alright. So some of this will be lines. It's not going to be an outline because it calls for it. We're not outlining it.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an outline, But you have a space that's inside the drawing, that this outline, is that no longer an outline? Is it an inline?
Is that a serious
People
question?
want to know. Well, I presume chat wants to know. I'm just being their advocate. And I've had the second cup of coffee, which I'm not really used to.
I'm sorry, guys.
Because I've cut down on my coffee.
I'm sorry. I forgot he did that.
Yeah.
Remember, it's okay if we're a little farther out, further out, and it kind of looks like a halo. We can always get closer to the line and darken it up, so don't stress about that. Let's see here, how much I can...
Beryl. Yes, some people are already in Christmas mode. She says one friend has 5 up in her house. I know that someday that's the direction that we're heading.
What are you talking about?
A Christmas forest in our house.
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
No lies.
So that was a 4-in-1 eraser that I used, Vanish 4-in-1. Looks like that. I've got that link down in the description through Amazon, and yeah. Although you can find it cheaper on Jerry's. Alright, so perspective wise, I turned, oops, we're sticking, here we go. I turned this snowflake, it kind of expanded it, so that means these arms are closer to us. And if you notice, we see a little bit more detail here than we do here, because this is further away, and that this is even more so where it's bigger because that's closer to us, and as it goes away it gets smaller, so we need to pay attention to that. Excuse me. And again, I can start with 3, just going up, make sure, going up against our graphite lines, because in this case that's good to do. Now just drag down. This is 3, again on basswood. Birch is going to require higher heat, but the reason I'm doing it this way is because we can see this nice brown. If I put this lighter burn in, and what I mean by lighter burn is versus, let's say, at number 6, this is on 3, so it's a much lighter burn. We will keep this brown throughout the piece. If I go too hot in an area, it's going to be more black. And I'm really wanting this brown sepia for this one. So laying in this darker background or at a lower heat will help me do that. And yes, it's going to take time. Luckily, this is a smaller piece, so it won't be a big deal going back over it. Just drag down. I'm going with the grain, and that will tend to burn a little darker too. Each piece of wood has a way that it likes to be burned, and sometimes you gotta find it. Just cutting in. I guess I should have labeled this a dark background first, because we really do need that dark background in order to get the rest of this. And even at 3, I can smell the nice toasty wood. And in dragging down, it's a little darker and browner. Going in circles, the wood is just burning differently, color-wise. But I think we're going to be okay. This is flat instead of just the end. Goodness. Do we have any questions so far?
No.
I was just
yes,
yes,
that's
please.
a question.
Mm-hmm.
Will we be able to get this picture so we can do it as well? Suspense.
Sure, I can post the photo in the super secret toasty group. I can do that, especially since I altered it. Pattern wise, in this case, I just drew it directly. I just transferred directly off of the photo, so there is no pattern. But I think that's good, because if you'll notice, In a couple of places I actually changed, so I've got a little more branch off going off of this arm. Let's see here, what else did I do? I cut some areas out. Oh, there's a branch here coming out that's not in the photo. And here I cut out some areas. That way it wasn't so samey. So I will give you this photo and then you can alter it how you want, if you want, arm-wise. If you want. I didn't realize it until after I'd printed out and I went to transfer. I was like, oops, snowflakes are all different. So right here where we've got the triangle, I didn't lower the heat because it should be fine. Should be fine.
How long are we going today?
I don't know what time is it.
It's 11:31.
Well, we were a few minutes late, so we owed them a few minutes.
Okay.
We owes them. Alright, so I'm looking at this area right here. We've got a light highlight right here. We've got our dark here, and then we have a really light. It's not really light, it's more just the light letting us know that there's an edge. So what I'm going to do, to make sure I don't lose it, I'm going to flip. I'm not trying to get anybody dizzy. I'm not going to cook quite up to the graphite. I'm not going to touch it, so it gives me some wiggle room. We always want wiggle room. Blend it out. Because if I need to go up against it...
Kathy says you're a little out of focus.
I'm a little out of focus?
I guess it is a little bit. It is.
Oh. Joey.
I'm sorry.
Joey.
Yell at me. Yell at me, chat. Yell at me. I can take it. I can take it.
No, you can't.
That's what I'm here for.
I wonder if the
Hit me.
autofocus...
Hit me with it.
Don't tempt me.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to chat. I'm safe. They can't touch me.
No, but
They can only yell at me.
I can. Let me fix this real quick. I did not check focus, so I do apologize for that. Yep, autofocus is on. That is why. Alrighty. Is that better? I'm so sorry. My eyes are a little blurry from staring at the wood. Does that look better, guys? Should. Alrighty. Oh, we got snow last week.
Good.
We did. I was a happy camper.
Sven says it's pouring rain and very windy here. Sounds pleasant.
Makes me happy. Alright.
In fact, we're in a place that gets sun on our side of the street. The opposite side of the street is still snowy, so it's disorienting because you look out across the street and it's like, oh, it's still snowing. And you look in our yard and it's like,
No snow.
no, still fall here.
It melted. Alright, so as we go, let's flip. Because I just realized I was looking at the wrong triangle. That's okay, because nobody is going to know if you were a little off in an area, because they're not going to see the reference photo, in theory.
True.
So they are not going to know if something wasn't quite right. So you don't have to stress over that.
Because we don't tell them.
We don't tell them.
We don't volunteer that information.
In fact, we're up here.
That's need to know information.
Yep, that's
and they don't need to know.
That's right. That is totally okay to keep that information to yourself. Alright. It doesn't take away from your art. It'll also allow you to be a little bit more relaxed and stepping out of your comfort zone. Because if you think everybody's going to give you a hard time about it, you won't do it. So just do it. Just do it. Alright. Trying to keep some light. And if I'm a little off, it's a snowflake. It can never really be off.
That's right, because all snowflakes are unique.
That's right. So here, and it's burning darker because I'm still on 3 and I'm just using the tip of the pen. Yes, the tip. But we do need some pretty good lines. And we need really, really good darks, and we need to make sure we leave brights, highlights, and put those in. So when I go to do some of the Parallax, I will already have this board sealed with spray varnish, and that will keep the Parallax, which will be mixed. I'll be mixing it with my my varnish to apply it, and that will keep everything even and consistent, and I know that it will adhere. I don't have to worry about if I use excuse me, an oil base on top of a water, or I'm sorry, water on top of oil. You have issues with peeling when you do that. So if you use the same varnish that you used for your wood, you won't have any issues.
But I thought you wanted it to be appealing.
Not in that way. So no. Bad Joey.
Sorry.
Bad Joey. Dad jokes. Let's see here. Where am I? I'm off. There we go. So, do we got any other questions?
Not at the moment. It looks like I can't tell, but it seems as if they're watching.
So you can see an outline right here because it's darker, and so I'm going to have to make sure to blend that out.
Really appreciate everybody showing up today.
Yes, thank you.
So
I missed last week's
very
live.
kind. Yes, she did.
It bothered me.
She got very sad and upset that she was missing the live.
Well, when you get used to doing something for so long, you start missing your friends.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
We're coming in that time of year when it's nice to have new friends around.
Yeah. It is. Alrighty. Oops, I went a little dark there. That's alright. Only you guys will know. Only you guys will know. I could also use a ball tip for these smaller areas. The 9M. Let's see here. Other pins. Let me pull some pins. That way. So you could also use the small ball tip, the 9M. If you really get into some tiny spots, because maybe you make this smaller than I did, you've always got the 9PP, which is super sharp. It's needlepoint. So he should have called it an NP instead of a PP. I do know with
NP,
the PP.
just so. Like no problem.
Or that too.
I am cold, girl. But
hot.
Val is hot.
Yes.
And I don't know what's up with that. See, Val spends a lot of time outside. She actually, you guard the front porch and Xena guards the back porch. The only difference is you don't bark at people. So.
Well, that's kind of
because
debatable.
Yeah. So she spends a lot of time outside, you know, like enjoying the weather.
Got out of the shower.
And I grew up in a very, very cold environment, and I like it warm, and I don't spend a lot of time outside in the great outdoors because I've had enough of that. Anyway.
Hey, when you spend 20 years in Phoenix where you can't handle being outside.
But I didn't.
But I did.
Anyway.
So I'm making up for that.
She tends to be a little bit more used to the weather than I do.
Yes, I have built a tolerance.
Yep.
It has to be down below, right around 0, before I'm like, okay, that's a little chilly. Okay, so different pins, the 18S, the 9M, then small ball tip. If you're using a different brand, then you're just looking at the shader, the small ball, and a pointy one. I'm not sure. Well, no, different brands have M and somewhere. And then the white charcoal, General's charcoal, just to mark out. Graphite pencil, and I transferred onto the basswood with this, which is wax-free. Excuse me, graphite transfer paper. It's the only kind I really like. And then the basswood, I have linked down below. It comes in sheets. This one of the reasons I picked the 1/4 inch thick sheet is because I've done a dark background of some kind on the 1/8 inch and the 3/8 inch with the skull. So I'm testing to see how well this, if it does any kind of bowing or whatnot because of the heat. I'm gonna guess not like the 1/8, but I did the 3/8 was really good.
Joshua, sir.
Hey Joshua.
Yeah, you know what?
He can't have my super warm socks.
I accidentally bogarted your Halloween socks, though. Because I thought, for some reason, I thought that they were mine. Even though I bought them for you.
And they get ravens on them.
I thought they had bats.
Those are ravens.
Really? Well, I don't wear my glasses when I put my socks on. I just know
Maybe
they're
you
orange
should.
and black and...
Next he'll tell me he's wearing my underwear too.
Busy.
That's where my bra went, huh?
Hey.
Alrighty.
Very nice.
I need a break. Whew.
Josh, you can't... Well, is
I know.
he a victim of the time change?
No, he's probably the victim of being in high school.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Kathy, the writing tip for small pit. Yeah, that would work. If you're talking about the Optima writing tip, it does work on the cold. Hint, 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 hint.
That's not a very subtle hint.
Yeah, it wasn't subtle. But yeah, it does. I don't think I have it in Cold's tip because it's not. Yeah, I don't think I do. Alrighty, so next week we will look at darkening the background and darkening up details, I think. That way you can see the difference from now and then doing it next week, and then the week after that we will make it shiny. Because we can, and it's fun, and why not?
Why not?
Why not? Let's see, anything else? Oh, this may not be for everyone. If you look under my playlist, I have a playlist called Pain. When I have high levels of pain, I wanted to talk about this last time. When I have high levels of pain, I use...
it's mostly death metal, right?
well, not death metal, but...
Like,
I am a hair metal girl.
And Valerie's like serenely drawing, and then like I lift up, and it's like...
You can... No, that was Rob Zombie. Oh, that's Sergi. You okay? Okay.
I'll be back. Oh my god. Karma.
I'm sorry, love.
Oh god.
So if you're curious what I use when I'm in pain to cut the pain signal, I've got a playlist for that. Rob Zombie, right? White Zombie. Okay, that wasn't your best thought out.
Okay.
Ozzy Sabbath.
Well, I can't do death metal.
No, you can't do death metal. And that's to interrupt the pain signal in my brain. So I was just going to mention that in case you're looking for something like that. Find something that you like that makes you happy and can be loud enough to interrupt that pain signal. Flip that switch off a little bit.
Sharon says that she loves the music shows.
Oh, did you go look? It's still a growing list. I have it on my iPod, but I don't use the iPod anymore, so I'm having to go back and find the other stuff. Oh, AC/DC, but that is a standard. So, next week We will make this better.
Greg, got you.
Happy burning.
Wait, you forgot something.
Don't forget. Say it with me.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, we haven't said it in 2 weeks. Because I forgot it last time. Say it with us. You're awesome. You can do this.
That's also true.
Why? Because you're a pyro artist.
I think so. Possibly.
Happy burning. Bye.